What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a very fun theme team submitted to the channel by citizennate, who is running a triple 4-arm team. They said they were inspired by my 15 heads team, so that is awesome to hear. They're running Barbaracle in the lead, Cofagrigus as the safe swap, and Shadow Machamp as the closer. Before we get into the battles, let's start with the question of the day. What's the most underrated rock-type Pokemon for the current Open Great League meta? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead Barbaracle into Azumarill, a pretty decent lead for us. Unfortunately, we're not running Grass Knot for coverage, so we're going to have to go for the Stone Edges, but it is a stab charge move. It will deal some decent damage to the Azumarill. The opponent's going to go for a charge move here. We're going to shield it, respect the damage. It's just an Ice Beam bait, which is really unfortunate. But at this point, this cannot be a Hydro Pump. We're going to let it go through, and it's just another Ice Beam, so that's perfectly fine with us. Going to go for the Stone Edge, and this will pretty much put them into range where we can farm them down, but it's going to be very close. We actually decide against it and swap into the Cofagrigus, so we are going to let the Ice Beam go through. Doesn't do too much damage. They come in with Galarian Stunfisk. We get to the Shadow Ball on the CMP tie with a Rock Slide, but the opponent will farm all the way up to the Earthquake before throwing a charge move. We're happy to let the Cofagrigus go down. They should go for the Rock Slide bait, meaning they have to use even more energy to take us out, so we're fine with that. We're going to let it go down. They did swap out of the matchup with Azumarill, so we can come in knowing they won't be able to swap out, and the opponent once again not even farming to the Earthquake this time, going straight for a Rock Slide. We're able to get the farm down, and the opponent is going to come in with a Trevenant, but then they swap and catch on Azumarill. Very nice catch by the opponent. Even undercharging it fully, it still takes out the Azumarill. We go for a Rock Slide. We now need to swap into the Barbaracle, but they let that move go through. This makes it a lot easier for us because even though it's double resisted, I think we can just settle for back-to-back cross chops here. First one grabs the shield. The second one throwing after one Fury Cutter. This should pretty much take them out. It barely doesn't take them out, but we get the Fury Cutter farm down and we take that game. Into the next battle, we see Knocked Out in the lead. Pretty good lead for us, of course, but unfortunately the Fury Cutters don't really do much damage. Stone Edge will do massive damage, but it's not that comfortable of a matchup here. They go for a Sky Attack for some reason, not even throwing the Shadow Ball. We go for the Stone Edge. It does connect, but they will now make it to a Shadow Ball in time, so we go for the Cross Chop just before they throw their energy. They actually use a shield. We swap and we catch the move, but it could be a Shadow Ball, so we're going to shield it anyway, so I really don't like that play. Although we do bait out a Galarian Stunfisk, it's just not that helpful for us. We're going to let this Rock Slide go through. Once again, opponent not even going for the Earthquake. Makes it a lot easier for us to make a decision not to shield. We go for the Shadow Ball. It does grab the final shield from the opponent, and we get to a second Shadow Ball on the CMP tie. This does connect. It does big damage. The opponent gets to the charge move. Once again, gonna let it go through. It is just another Rock Slide bait. We now swap into Machamp. This can only be another Rock Slide, so once again, gonna let it go through. Get the counter farm down. They come in with Swampert actually not getting farmed down, so I like this play, but at this point, it is too late in time. We can go for the back-to-back cross chops here. First cross chop will do massive damage, and actually we can just fully counter, farm down the Swampert, counter down the Knocked Out, and counter down the Stunfisk to take that game. Into the next battle, we see a Jellicent in the lead. This wouldn't be too bad if we had Grass Knot, but unfortunately this is not the best matchup. Once again, they are resisting the Fury Cutters. We can go for the Stone Edge, and Stone Edge does some decent damage here, and at this point we might be able to grab a shield from a Cross Chop. We will let this move go through. It is the Shadow Ball. It nearly takes us out. We actually end up swapping into our Cofagrigus. This is not enough for another Shadow Ball, and they do go for a Bubble Beam, which is unfortunate, but once again another Galarian Stunfisk coming to meet the Cofagrigus. We go for the Shadow Ball, and a second Shadow Ball will pretty much take them out, so they're going to throw their energy, and they do finally full send the Earthquake, but we actually live that, and we do get off the Shadow Ball, and this will put them into range where we can easily farm them down with Shadow Machamp. They actually end up shielding there, so that's fine. We're going to come in with the Machamp. and we will now commit a shield. It could be the Earthquake. It is just a Rock Slide bait, but it does not matter. They don't make a second charge move anyway, so pretty pointless bait there. They're going to come in with Beedrill. The opponent tries to catch a move. Very, very nicely done. Holding on to the energy and swapping to catch the move there. Bubble Beam won't take us out. They do get the Hex farm down, but we come out with 2 Rock Slides loaded. That's going to be game over. Very nice discipline, not throwing the energy into the Beedrill straight away, and now this is a guaranteed win. We get to the second Rock Slide, and this will easily take out the Beedrill, and we take that game. Into the next battle, we see Togedemaru in the lead. This is a bit tricky for us. We're going to swap out straight away. The opponent also swaps into a Claydol, and that is amazing for us. I don't know why they swapped out there. That was a very interesting play by the opponent. Unless they're running like a double ground, some sort of ABB style team, we're going to shield up the Earth Power there, go for a Shadow Ball, and this will be enough to take out the Claydol from this range, but the opponent's going to double shield, and they're actually doing quite a lot of damage with the confusions here. We're actually going to let this move go through. It is the Earth Power. It takes us out, but we can now get a massive Fury Cutter farm down, come out with a ton of energy loaded, and they've got a Azumarill in the back, so yeah, that's a kind of weird play by the opponent, but it actually might work out in their favor. But I mean, we just stay in with the Barbaracle. I assume we don't even commit a shield in this matchup either. Second Stone Edge does land. We'll let this go through, and at this point, Shadow Machamp should be able to easily sweep. They do full send the Hydro Pump, but it does not matter. Machamp up against Togedemaru with a shield advantage is an easy win for us. Into the next battle, awful lead. We have to get out of here as soon as possible. Nope, we're actually going to stay in for 2 Vine Whips for some reason. And now we're going to swap into Cofagrigus. Let the Frenzy Plant go through. They come in with yet another Galarian Stunfisk. Oh my gosh. If the aim was to bait out a Galarian Stunfisk, then this team would be doing very well so far, but it doesn't really help us to bait it out here. They go for a Rock Slide. It takes us out. And now we can come in with the Shadow Machamp fully farming down, but maybe we come in with the Barbaracle, as it wow, I can very speak at the moment, as it does have a bad matchup, and wow, we just fully sacrifice it there. Interesting play, but can Shadow Machamp sweep in the end game? They come in with Venusaur. We just have to hope they let this go through for some reason, and they do let it go through. And please, please be a double steal team. No, it is a Swampert, Shadow Swampert, but we can just fully counter, farm them all the way down, and we will still be able to win this game because of the insane counter damage from Shadow Machamp. So into the next battle, we see a Swampert in the lead. This one is a little bit more comfortable than Venusaur, although an Earthquake will easily one-shot us, and even those Hydro Cannons are neutral. But we do have the threat of a Grass Knot, so we grab a shield from the opponent, which is great. And at this point, yeah, I think we just let Barbaracle go down. They actually go for the Hydro Cannon, so we can get to another Cross Chop, and this won't do too much damage, but it will do some nice chip damage. The opponent swaps out at the same time, and we swap into Cofagrigus. That's amazing for us. We can now let this go through. It is just an Ice Punch, and now we can farm up to 100 energy, go for the Shadow Ball, and it looked like it was a CMP tie there, I think. We go for the Shadow Ball, undercharging it, and I don't know about that. They get to another Ice Punch here, and we can now farm them down. We do come out with the Shadow Ball loaded. They come in with Skarmory, but yeah, I don't think we should have undercharged there. We go for a Shadow Ball. It does connect. It does big damage, and we will make it to another Shadow Ball, so maybe it was the right play. I can't really decide at the moment yet. We'll have to see how this game does pan out, but we can now come in with Shadow Machamp, shield this up, and we should be able to just fully counter farm them down. And that's exactly what we do. We come out with a Cross Chop loaded, gonna go for an extra counter, knowing we will win the CMP tie anyways. And now we go for the Cross Chop, and this should be enough damage to take out the Swampert, and we take that game. Into the next battle, we see a Talonflame in the lead. Great lead for us. We do resist everything. It's a very comfortable lead, although they could double shield here, and if we do go full sending the Stone Edge each time, then it might be a little bit dicey, but that's fine. We are going to let the first move go through. Even if they Brave Bird us, it won't do too much damage. They go for a Flame Charge bait. That is a massive mistake, but they have Purified Sableye in the back. We go for a Stone Edge. We connect, and now we can come in with Machamp and probably let a Foul Play go through. And yeah, we do let the foul play go through, and we will make it to a rock slide unless the opponent throws their energy straight away, which they don't. They're going to go for a full farm down. Rock slide takes out the Talonflame, and they've got another Shadow Swampert in the back. We barely make it to the cross chop in time. The opponent will get a massive farm down though. Cross chop actually goes unshielded, and yeah, we just take that game there. So that was a very interesting game. But into the next battle, we see a Lantern in the lead, going to swap into Cofagrigus straight away. The opponent responds with yet another Galarian Stunfisk. Oh my gosh. We go for the Shadow Ball, it does connect, and the opponent's going to have to go for an Earthquake, but it still won't quite take us out, so they go for it there, and yeah, we can easily tank that actually. Go for a Shadow Ball just before they make it to a Rock Slide, and Shadow Ball will take out the Galarian Stunfisk. We do flip switch advantage, probably going to come back in with the Lantern, but that allows us to get to another Shadow Ball, and we might even grab a shield at this point. No, the opponent lets it go through. We've done massive damage to the Lantern already. Gonna shield our Shadow Machamp, and it is a Thunder. Not even Thunderbolt, but a Thunder. We can now let this move go through. Should just be a Surf. It is the Surf. It still does a lot of damage, but we can go for a Rock Slide and then swap into the Barbaracle. We grab a shield from the opponent, and at this point we should be looking pretty good here, as those counters have now put them into range where a Stone Edge will take out the Noctowl. We grab a shield first, we can live a Shadow Ball, so we might let this first move go through. They bait with a Sky Attack. We're going to let this move go through as well, and they do full send the Shadow Ball, but we're still going to be able to get to the Stone Edge in time, and this will be enough damage to take out the Noctowl, and we can actually Fury Cutter, farm down the Lantern, and take that game. And into the next battle. This might be the final battle, maybe there's one more after this, I'm not really sure, but the opponent's going to swap into a Lantern. We're going to go for a Shadow Ball. We have a massive energy advantage, so we should be able to easily flip this matchup. Opponent just going to go for a Surf here, and we will make it to a Shadow Ball in time, just before they make it to the next Surf, and Shadow Ball does go unshielded. We flip switch advantage, they come in with Talonflame, and the opponent has really poorly played this battle here, because now they have got their Talonflame aligned to a Barbaracle, but it's not over yet because we have two Pokemon that are really going to struggle up against that Whimsicott in the lead. They go for a Flame Charge bait. Opponent, what are you doing? We then swap and catch the Grass Knot onto our Shadow Machamp. That's massive, but they still get a farm down. Going to come in with the Barbaracle here, and we just have to double shield. Obviously, a Grass Knot will easily one-shot us, and we're going to go for the bait, going for a cross chop, but I think we could just go for 3 cross chops here and take them out anyway, so it does kind of make sense. Gonna shield up, and we should be able to maybe even Fury Cutter, farm them all the way down. Yes, we get the farm down, and now we will full send the Stone Edge. Will the opponent respect the damage? They do respect it, but we still get to the Stone Edge, but we lose the CMP tie. Is it a Brave Bird? It is the Brave Bird. We do go down there, and unfortunately we end up losing that game. But well played by the opponent. And into the final battle of this video. This is surely the final battle now. The opponent catches the Stone Edge onto Hitmonchan. Incredible catch. But we can now come in with our Cofagrigus and go for a full Shadow Claw farm down. 2 elemental punches won't be enough to take us out, so we'll have a ton of energy when we come out, and actually they don't even get to the second elemental punch. That's absolutely massive because Mantine cannot farm us down now. We go for a Shadow Ball. It's a CMP tie, it looks like, and the opponent gonna go for a Bubble Beam. It's too late. This second Shadow Ball will pretty much take out the Mantine from this range, and they do go down after one more Shadow Claw. No, they swap out into their Medicham, and this actually doesn't look too great for us. We're actually going to swap out and clear the debuff. The opponent's running Power Up Punch. That is not great. We should barely live a second Power Up Punch, but it's not the best position to be in. We go for a Cross Chop. This will possibly get a shield, and we do get a shield. That's absolutely huge. And now do we just come in with the Machamp and make sure we get off a Rock Slide in this matchup. We are finally going to use a shield here. They do just go for another Power Up Punch. We are going to overfarm massively, go for a Cross Chop for some reason. We're not going to get off 2 moves anyway, but it doesn't matter. The opponent tries to catch the move there. We didn't even have the energy yet, so now we can go for the Shadow Ball, taking out the Medicham, and we take that game. No, this is the final battle, surely. What the heck? maybe we've got more battles, I don't know. But we are leading into Scrafty. We swap into Cofagrigus. This isn't the best matchup either. They do go for the foul play and they will resist every charge move we throw, but we're going to go for a Psychic for the potential defense drop. The opponent lets it go through. We get no defense drop and we should just be going for Shadow Balls here. It's not going to make a difference. The opponent baits with Power Up Punch. We go for another Psychic. I don't agree with this at all, but the opponent does actually shield it, but still no defense drop, and they get a massive counter farm down. We come in with the Shadow Machamp straight away. Would have liked to see us wait out the switch clock a little bit, but it doesn't matter. The switch clock is already up now, so they actually played it fine. We're able to get rid of the Scrafty finally, and we swap and we catch a Hydro Cannon onto Barbaracle. Is this a good play? Let's see what they have in the back. The opponent's not swapping out and they will make it to another Hydro Cannon in time, so we have to shield here, and a cross shot won't take them out, but they swap into Talonflame. Opponent, what is this? We're going to go for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge takes out the Talonflame. We have a cross chop loaded. We can throw it into the Swampert. The opponent does respect the damage there, and they're going to go for a farm down, allowing us to get to another cross chop. This still probably won't take them out, but we can come in with a Machamp. We have so much loaded energy. Cross chop will take out the Swampert, and we take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. Certainly a few questionable plays by the opponents towards the end, but still some very enjoyable battles with a very fun theme team. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And as for my answer, I'm going to go with Sudowoodo. I used it in a recent video, and when I was finally able to get Meteor Beam on it, that thing was absolutely amazing. Of course, it does have some very hard counters like Medicham, Trevenant, etc. But honestly, if you can start ramping up your damage, you can just fully sweep teams, and it was so satisfying to use. If you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.